Dear students and viewers, welcome to my class. So, in continuation of the yesterday class, so subject is cryptography and network security. So, under this concept is transport layer security. So, now coming to here. So, in transport layer security, so how it deploys this transport level. So, last in continuation of the last class, we have seen different scenarios with respect of transport layer. Now here we'll see how this transport layer security will be deployed in detail with respect to architecture diagram. Now coming to here, so this TLS transport layer security is so came into existence IETF Institute for Engineers and Task Force Standard RFC 2246 similar to SSL version 3. So now here RFC is request for comments. This is especially for 2246. So specific port number for this, right? So similar to SSL secure socket layer version 3. Last class we have seen regarding the SSL version 3. So now coming to here this transport layer security with minor differences. The following the uh, features in addition to that SSL. So in record format version number. So just so previously what I have seen in SSL, same thing here we are adding some version number, and next it uses HMAC for Mac. So instead of Mac here we are using HMAC. So last class we have seen how Mac is deployed. So instead of Mac here we are using HMAC. HMAC means here hash with the message authentication code. HMAC you may call it as, right? Now coming to here, a pseudo random function expands secrets. Now here a pseudo random function will expand these secrets. So now in this based on HMAC and SHA-1 or MD5. MD5 means message digest 5. SHA-1. So this is one type of special algorithm. And HMAC. So we have just now have discussed HMAC means hash with message authentication code, that is called HMAC. So now here uh, this another additional alert codes are also deployed, and some changes in ciphers, little bit modification in ciphers, and changes in certificate types and negotiations, and changes in crypto computations and padding. So padding, we know what is padding means. We are adding the bits to the entire data, right? And crypto computations. Now here crypto computations are little bit. We're going to compute. We're going to compute some calculations, crypto computation. That is called crypto computations. So right, encryption of, decryption of, like that computations will be going on. Now certificates. Certificates means the fixed formats of security formats. In this also maybe some changes maybe happen. So this is regarding. In addition to the SSL, we have done little bit modification. This transport layer security will see in detail. Now here HTTPS. Now what actual HTTPS, right? So HTTPS here, HTTP over SSL. So with combination of HTTP over SSL is called HTTPS. So now here this SSL and TLS to secure. In addition to the HTTP hypertext transfer protocol, which is widely used protocol. So in addition to that, we are going to add SSL and TLS features in order to provide more secure that communication between browser and server. The best deployment of HTTPC is between browser and server we are deploying. So now here documented in RFC 2818, and no fundamental change in SSL or TLS, and use HTTPS URL rather than HTTP. So now here general connections and protocols we are using HTTP only, but when we are using this SSL and TLS we are using as HTTPS, and port 443 rather than 80. So now your port numbers also very important. Each and every socket is having some port. Now here is each and every protocol. So now here, so port 443 instead of 80, and encrypts URL document contents, right? So now URL document contents from data, cookies, HTTP headers, all these encryption will be going on. We'll see in detail. Now HTTPS use, so connection initiation, TLS handshake, then HTTP request, right? So then connection closer. Now HTTP is used for connection start and connection end. Now here we will see this HTTP record, and in TLS level the exchange close and notify alerts, and you can close the TCP connection, and you can handle the TCP connection before alert exchange or sent are completed, right? So HTTP use all these functions. It can open, it can close, it can alert, right? It can notify. So right, all these messages will be exchanged, will be done with the help of this HTTPS only, right? Now a secure shell SSH. So secure shell is nothing but a protocol for secure network communications, designed to be simple and inexpensive. When compared to all protocols, this SSH is secure shell. We may abbreviate it as secure shell SSH. So this is very suitable, simple, inexpensive protocol, which is best suitable for big network communications. And SSH1 provides secure remote login facility. Now, in once again, SSH divided into SSH1, SSH2 like this. Now here SSH1 is best suitable for replacing the Telenet. Telenet means remote login, right? You know all the Telenet facilities, right? And next, also has more general client server capability. So basically, deploy the client server communication process. We know how client and server is communicating, how client is initiating the request, how server is replying. Now SSH2, it fixes a number of security flaws. Now documented in RFCs 4250 through 4254. Now here this SSH is documented. So in the following ranges of RFCs between 4250 to 4254, and clients and server widely available for this SSH clients, and this is best suitable for remote login and tunneling facilities, right? You know the tunneling means they're going to change the environment. So this is the best suitable for secure shell protocols. So now SSH protocol stack. So this is the SSH protocol stack. Now here the following diagram completely shows the detailed implementation of SSH protocol stack: SSH user authentication protocol, SSH connection protocol, and SSH transport layer protocol, and TCP and IP. So these are the uh, 5 protocols basically deployed in SSH architecture diagram. So each and every protocol, what it will do, what is the specific functionality of SSH protocol, we'll see in detail. Now in SSH user protocol, so SSH user authentication protocol, what it will do is authenticate the client side to user to server. Now here SSH user protocol, it can verify, it can check the client side communication. SSH user authentication protocol, it can verify the authentication from the client side, right? And whereas SSH connection protocol multiplexes the encrypted tunnel into several logical channels. So this is nothing but multiplex is nothing but combining combining more channels into one single channel. This is called multiplex. Now here multiplex, the best popular communication mode, multiplex and demultiplex. So now here we are combining so many channels into so one fixed type of format is that is multiplexing. Now here, so here multiple channels are coming, so all these are encrypted into several logical channels. So the tunneling means we know, so it can connect to different networks. Two dissimilar networks will be connected through this tunneling process. Now here this SSH connection protocol will allows multiplexes so many channels, so that will be in a logical manner. And next, SSH transport layer protocol. It provides server authentication, confidential integrity. It may optionally also provide compression also. So this secure shell SSH transport layer protocol, what actually it will do is basically it can provide compression facility. In addition, this compression, the same previously primary, that authentication, confidential, integrity, these features are maintained by this SSH transport layer protocol. Now coming to this TCP, transmission control protocol, provides reliable connection oriented end-to-end delivery. Now we know already. Last class also we discussed it. This SSH protocol. Such protocols are always provides uh, authentication, confidential integrity, and whereas this TCP transmission control protocol provides reliable connection oriented end-to-end delivery. So it will give always connection oriented this TCP protocol, and it may guarantee delivering the service from end to end. And IP Internet Protocol provides datagram delivery across multiple networks. Now here, so IP protocol will help you deliver the multiple networks. The packets which are transmitted through Internet Protocol, they can deploy with the help of datagrams. Datagram is a connectionless service, so the Internet Protocol itself is provides the datagram feature, so it can deliver multiple networks. So this is the complete original architecture diagram of this SSH protocol stack. Now SSH transport layer protocol. Now here server authentication occurs at transport layer based on the server host key pairs. Now here server authentication. So in the transport layer only we are going to verify this server authentication, and it may require host keys in advance. So and packet exchanging. So it can establish the TCP connection and it can exchange the data. So and in between, so identification of string algorithm key exchange service request all will be considered in the packet exchange. So these are all the basic requirements and parameters in order to exchange the packet, and using specific packet format also. Sometimes they may use some specific packet format also. And next, SSH user authentication protocol. So this is also another user protocol authenticates client to server. SSH user authentication protocol. So it can authenticate client to server as per our discussion. As per the main architecture diagram we have seen, SSH user authentication protocol. It can verify, it can identify authentication, and three message types. Just here, request the failure and success. So initially, request will be done whether the particular connection, whether the particular service message may be received or may not receive. If it may lose, it will occur as a failure. If may, it will get success. The message will be denoted as success. SSH message user authentication failure. SSH message user authentication success. SSH message user authentication request. Request followed by failure and success. All these will be denoted by these message types. And authentication methods used: public key, password, and host based. Public key, most popular key, so it's suitable for best encryption decryption. Public key, and popularly known for everyone in the network, that is called public key. You know already. Password, right? The password also sometimes we may exchange, and host based systems also sometimes we are going to exchange. So these are some authentication methods used in this SSH protocol. Now SSH connection protocol in context of this runs on SSH transport layer protocol. Especially it is used for especially yeah. Now coming to here, so the following are the some multiple logical channels which are going to use all these multiple information. Now SSH communication with separate channels, and either they may side one open and unique ID number and flow control, and have three stages: opening a channel, data transfer, and closing a channel. These three stages they are using, and four types: session, X11, forward TCP IP, direct TCP IP, right? So these are the four types and have three stages. So how this SSH connection protocol will establish the connection and transfer the communication, right? And now SSH connection protocol exchange, how the connections will be exchanged now. So when you see this, initially client and server is deployed. So establish authenticated transport layer connection. We have discussed already. Authentication verifies in the transport layer only. So now here, this transport layer, we are going to authenticate it and open a channel. Now initially, we are open the channel. From client is sending the request to server. then server is given SSH message channel open confirmation. Open confirmation is given by the server, and then after the connection open, then client has to initiate. So the message transferring from client to server. Initially the SSH message channel data. Then once again server is giving the reply to the client, and this process is happening. This is original data transfer. Once again SSH message channel data, SSH message channel data. Client server communication is going on. Client is sending the request, right, and server is sending the replies. Though here exchange will be going on, the entire mutual communication is going on in between client server communication. The channel, with the help of this message channel, the data will be exchanging, right, and the last will close the channel. SSH message channel will be closed. So this is the end of this communication process. Whenever they are opening the channel, after opening the channel, the communication channel confirmation, then data mode of data transfer will be happen. Then after series of mode of data transfer, then closure of channel connection will be initiated by the client, right? So this is the entire SSH connection, how protocols are exchanged, how the data will be transferred. So this will be deployed in the transport layer security TLS. Thank you and everyone.